all, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today guys we are going to be doing our Lancaster bomber build. So we are going to do issue 13 of Build a Lancaster Bomber. Now, we're not using any of the parts that would be received in this issue, we'll be using them later on. But we are going to be putting some of the parts that we built previously onto the fuselage section. So this should be a really interesting one. Quite a few bits to do, I would have to admit on this one, but it should look amazing at the end of it, and I'm really looking forward to getting started with this build today. So let's get on with it. So with all that said, let's get modelling. Okay guys, issue 13, sorry. Today in this stage we actually get a floor section, so I'll show you this. That's what we get in today's issue, but we're not actually doing anything with this. We also got some BM screws as well, but I might as well just pack that up because we're going to be using bits that we've used previously. So in this issue or stage, work continues on fitting the nose, framing and fuselage. The floor section supplied here will be fitted in a future issue. So fantastic. Okay, so we're going to need our main fuselage that we've been working on. And the first thing we need is this bit here. This is the bomb computer. So just before we start, I am going to put a picture up on the screen of what we're going to be working on, or what it looks like actually on the aircraft. So I'm going to do that now, and that's what the this is going to look like. So yeah, let's get on. So we need to fit this in place. Now it doesn't say that this needs gluing, so let's just see what the fit is going to be like. Now, I reckon that's definitely going to need some glue. So let's do that. We actually need quite a bit of glue today. Now, that LED light, we're actually covering it in this issue, so I've actually glued it in place. In this magazine, it actually showed it in a better position than the previous, so I was able to glue that in place. But it wasn't the easiest thing to glue together, I will say that. Okay, so this is going in. I was just checking it to see if there was any orientation. The orientation I just had it in was definitely not the one. Okay, that definitely needed gluing in place. There's no way that was a push fit connection. Okay, so with that in place, we need this part here. This is the cockpit framing. This we did in issue 1, and we also got some CP screws as well in issue 4. Now we're going to be using 3 of them screws, so I'm just going to get a screw loaded up ready, because we're actually going to fit this into place. Now basically that is going to go on into place, just lining it up. Just like that. Now one thing it is saying on this is it wants us to fit it in with some CP screws, but it also wants us, oh that's heat. Right, I'll sort that out after. This is the problem when you turn these things up and down. Okay, that's easily sorted. So what it's asking us to do is to run a seam. This is what I'm saying about these things being upside down and left, right and centre. So I might just run the glue down that before we actually screw this into position. So just running a bead of glue just down here. I think that to do that after is going to be a little bit of a nightmare. So line that up in position. Line up the screw holes. That's nicely glued, but this isn't lining up the best. There we go. You heard that click, it just clicked nicely into place. Now that's lined up, I'm just going to hold that in position for a second. Okay, that should do it. And then what I'm going to do next, I'm actually going to glue this top bit, which it asks us to do. Just a thin bead of glue just on that top section there. Okay. Now I'm just going to wait a few minutes. Now while I'm doing that, I'm actually just going to fix this seat that's broken. This is what the problem is when you're turning these models upside down, left, right and centre. Delicate parts like that will break. You don't want them to, but they will. So just drop a glue in there. Okay, and that will fix the seat. Okay, so that's the seat fixed. Right, so I'm happy with that glue going off now. So I'm going to put the 3 CP screws in. Nice short screws these. Another one. Then that's another one. So another thing that's just happened is that back bit has just fallen off. This detail here. So it happens, if it does happen to you, and trust me, it's happened every single model I have put in. Right, so it's asking us to turn this back over. Do I really want to do that? No, not really. Right, I'm going to try and find something that can just stand this on, and then we'll come back to it, because I'm just not happy with having to have that seat exposed the way it is, and yeah, it's running the risk of breaking it again. The thing we do need to do, we do need to have it upside down on the next bit, so yeah, so back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, I'm back. So I've sort of lifted this up now. I'm using the box of parts came in and one of my screw boxes for this build. The next bit we need to do is we've got this bit here. Now this is going to be going on just like that, but we need to glue this in place. Now I'm going to be using this stuff. I've had this few years now. It's only a small bottle, but it does the job. It's like PVA, but it sets crystal clear. Now, a lot of people were saying to me in the comments about, you know, don't use super glue about it hazing. I had no problem with hazing, but I'll do this correctly. We'll use the micro crystal clear. But if you're using this stuff, it does take about 24 hours to dry. And it's not the strongest bond in the world. So you do have to give it time. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to put this into place. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just going to stop recording because I want that at least to go tacky before I work on the next stage. Only because if I move that upside down, that's going to fall off, because it's not an instant glue at all. And really don't be working on it until it at least has got some tackiness on it. So I'm going to put this aside for just a little bit. It will feel like seconds to you because I'll be coming straight back, and then we will continue with the rest of the build. So back soon.
20 minutes later.
Okay guys, so now I'm back. So that has had time to dry. It's not fully set, and it won't be for at least 24 hours. So I'm just going to turn this over, because we've got another bit that we're going to be working on. Now we're going to get the gun turret that we did in issue 2. So really going around the houses on what we're putting in. Now I'm just going to unravel this wire, because this wire needs to go into the same area, or into the same hole that the wire from the lights goes in. So let's see if this is easy enough to do. Yeah. It might not be the easiest one to do. I think I'm going to need some tweezers. So I'll just grab some of them. Now, what gets me about this is we're doing all this fantastic detail, but that canopy is now hanging off. Didn't set as much as I wanted it to. We're doing all this fantastic detail, but yet these wires are going to be showing. When we did the Spitfire, they were all really nicely hidden. But in this, I don't know. They're not as hidden. Kind of through. I just need to pull it from the other side, which I have done. So, no, 2 seconds. Right, this is some jiggery pokery here that we're having to do just to get this last one through. is a very tight fit. Come on. Right, there we go, that's through. I'm not happy about that canopy falling off. See. Right, it's back on for now. Right. So. Right, I'm just going to feed these wires, if I can, nicely through. One is actually getting caught there. Oh, no, it's alright. One that's getting caught is the other camera light. Okay, so feeding these wires through. That one and that one. Yeah, right. Okay. This is tricky. Right, so we're going to be mounting this turret now. Now this goes on to 4 pegs. So the 4 pegs this goes on to, we'll just bring this in, is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, do we glue this? It's advisable to glue them in place. Right, so, yeah. Right, so I'm just going to pop one of the wires just out of the way. That's the one for the other. Because as I'm going to put this on, I'm going to want to move the wires out of the way. So, let's get some more glue out. That canopy is still on. Now I'm just going to put some glue on the pegs this sits on. Okay. So just by pulling them wires, I'm going to get this in alignment. It is easier said than done. I can actually move that turret out of the way when I get this base in. And I'm just looking. Right, so I believe, I think that was in, but I don't. It's really hard to see the holes, so I've got this right up under my should be able to see the pegs as these line up. Oh, I don't want that to happen. So that's one of the pegs in at the front. That's another one in the back. I'm just trying to... Right. Let me just get some... See, hear that clicking in? If you heard that, that's what we should be getting. Okay, so that's the two back ones on. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just on top of the pegs. And then once this is done, I'm going to take just 20 minutes or so while this glue dries. I know it's a lot of stopping and starting, but I want to make sure I get this done properly. You see on this side the peg is totally off. That one's in. Something came off there, I don't know what. What is that? Right, I'll have to sort that out. Doesn't help matters. But that, I believe, is fully on. Right, so I'm going to let that glue dry for 20 minutes and I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later.
Okay, guys, I'm back. So that's all nicely glued in place now, as you can see. Looks exactly how I wanted it. Sorry about that. That'll be the cat at the front door. The next thing we need to do is we need this fuselage panel that we did in issue 1. Now I've taken off the pitot tube there. Simply because they're going to break. So it's easier just to take them off and use another day. Put them on when the model is nearly ending. When you know they're not going to get damaged or... yeah. Right, so this should push into place, but that cat picked on a peg, and I've just done the pilot seat again. This is really getting annoying now, where things are breaking again. I'm not happy about this at all. Oh, goodness sake. Right, I need to put this canopy back on. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to do all this, put these sections on, because there's that one to put on, and then that one to put on. Then I'm going to come back, because things are just happening left, right and centre, and I just need to concentrate while I do this. That bit has come loose as well. It's a bit of a nightmare. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay guys, I'm back. Yeah, screaming moment. Right, so that outer fuselage is now on. Now I'm holding this in place because the next piece we just need to put on is this little piece here. This is just going to go under here. It has to go in a certain way, like that. And we're just going to push that into place. And that's more or less going to hold that fuselage seam together. And that is it, guys. Wow. Issue 13. Wow. 13 is not the best number for me. And you can probably see why. But that is done. Oh my word. We're obviously going to have some more bits that are going to go on top of it. We've got the dome at the front here to do. But yeah, that was extremely testing, I've got to say. Extremely testing. So yeah, number 13. Yeah, not always the best one to do. But that is this stage and issue complete. Wow. Yeah, so issue 13 is done. Well, guys, that's it for the Lancaster Bomber for this issue. Thank you for tuning in. That was not easy. I think when you get models like this, and it does happen, where you just got to give things time to dry, and when you're waiting for like microcrystal clear to dry, it's not an instant grab on it. It does take time, and then you got the bits falling out and whatnot. It's not easy, so taking the time to stop recording, start recording, stop recording, start recording, it's just a matter of just the way it is, unfortunately, with this with these builds, and you just got to keep going at it. That's taken a couple of hours to record, just that build, so yeah, I think that has to be the most difficult stage I've done so far with this Lancaster build. So yeah, number 13 definitely is still not the best number in the world, but it's done, and that's the main thing. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified of any future videos. But as always, stay safe and bye for now.